Good morning, everybody. Um, Coming on here with some news and some Zach Osborne talk. Because as you saw by the title, Zach Osborne has announced his retirement from pro motocross, supercross racing. And this is a kind of a, I kind of, if you, if you actually know the sport, you could say you saw this coming. I saw this coming. Um, I saw this coming a little bit ago, but man, congratulations. If Zach's even watching this, congratulations on a great career. Um, that was an amazing career to watch. I remember the first time I saw him racing on the TV for Supercross was back in 2012. Oakland, he was battling with Marvin Muscan for one of the positions. I believe it was for a podium position. That was the first time I ever saw Zach, and I had no idea where he came from. And he quickly grew on me, and yeah, he's retired. He's retiring a champion now, which is so cool. Zach Osborne, if you don't know, he didn't come over here. He made his professional debut in like '07 or something like that. Didn't go well. Actually, really didn't go well. And he ended up going to Europe for like 4 years and then came back in 2012 to race 250 West in the Supercross series and did kind of, I don't remember how he did, but sounds like he did very well there and got a ride with Geico Honda, did well in 2013, did well in 2014, and finally in 2015 got a Rockstar Energy Husqvarna ride. Did well in 2015, did really well in 2016, and finally in 2017, after like 12 years or 10 years or something like that, of just struggling and struggling and struggling. I'm not sure how his MXGP career went. I didn't really follow it. I didn't even know what MXGP was back in the day. I don't know how his MXGP career went, but we all know the story. In 2017, clearly was the best rider of the 250 East Series that year. It came down literally to the final corner, takes out Joey Savacci for the title. I was at that race. That was such a cool moment to watch. Just the emotion he was pouring out, and I've never seen a commentator almost cry because of it. Like it was so cool to see. But then comes out in 2017 outdoors, wins that championship, and kind of convincingly too. Like, we always say he came out and won Hangtown. We always say that Hangtown is because all the momentum from Supercross or whatever. That's why you sometimes see people who do well in the Supercross series come out and win Hangtown or whatever the first round is in pro motocross, because they have that momentum. Even though it's been like 2 or 3 weeks, they have that momentum. He did that and kind of took off from the field in 2017. Then in 2018 comes back and has a little bit of a battle with Austin Forkner in Supercross, but Austin Forkner surprisingly blows himself up, and Osborne wins that championship. He wins the 2018 250 East champion. That makes him a 2-time 250 East champion. Then he comes out in 2018 outdoors, wins Hangtown the opener, then kind of struggles at Glen Helen and Thunder Valley. We all know Joey Savacci took him pretty much took him out of the season. He messed up his shoulder. I'm not sure what happened with the shoulder, and I guarantee that has nothing to do with the later problems he'd have that actually, I believe, caused him to retire. And it was just sad because Osborne's 2018 season ended not on his terms. Like he could have been champion, in 2018 for outdoor, but that's not how life goes sometimes. Comes out 2019 as a 450 rookie, goes over the berm at Arlington his first race because he was kind of hurt for the first 6 rounds. He was hurt, and has a pretty, other than a few rookie stuff, has a pretty solid 2019 Supercross season. And then comes out, wins a moto and 450 outdoors at Southwick. And then 2020 comes out, does really well in Supercross, you know. Um, I remember him having a big get off, huge get off at Anaheim 1 in 2020. Like, he came out of a corner and clipped a tough block and landed to flat straight on his back, man. That was, if you remember that, let me know. But then 2020 Supercross does well. Then we go on that break and he has a pretty and this is kind of the beginning of the end, I feel, for Zach Osborne. Has a pretty massive injury. Screws up his back, and he talks about a lot about before the Salt Lake City swing, he considered retiring. He considered retiring before when Supercross went on that break there for COVID or whatever, and he comes out, he decides to go to Salt Lake, comes out, does really well, and then at this race right here, this track, it's not muddy, but decided to race it muddy, but comes out on this track and has a really gnarly get off. Not like that, but he comes into the whoops on the side of us, I'll show you, and gets the bars right to his stomach, like it twists around and something. And I play RM Fantasy, the hard one, but I saw that and I still picked Osborne for the win. And boy was I correct, because he came out and won that day. That just shows he never give up. And he just came into the whoops here and stuffed it in this corner and got handlebars right to the stomach, and he came out and won the race. His team, Rockstar Energy Husqvarna, actually swept it. But yeah, that was cool to see. And then 2020 Outdoors is probably the most unexpected champion I think I've ever seen in the sport, other than Dylan Ferrandis this past year. Dylan Ferrandis actually took that for me. Dylan Ferrandis is still the most unexpected champion I've ever seen in motocross. But in 2020 Outdoor, Osborne comes out, wins Loretta wins 2, wins Redbud, wins Florida, and the other races is consistent other than a flat tire at Millville, and comes out. Once again, I was at Fox Raceway and I watched him wrap up the 2020 Lucas Oil Pro Motocross Championship. That was this guy's career, and I don't know if you see a trend here. What little kids who watch this guy, grew up watching this guy, what they can take from Zach Osborne in his career is never give up. This dude, Zach, had so many opportunities. Like, he could have easily retired after things weren't going well and he had to go to MXGP. He could have easily retired. He could have easily retired before the Salt Lake City run and just went out as a 250 champion. But he just kept on fighting, and he is a 450 outdoor champion and a 250 outdoor championship winner and a 2-time 250 East champion. That, I mean, from where he came from, that is pretty unreal. From where he came from, like, that is pretty cool. And unfortunately, if you do follow sport closely, you would know that he had some major back issues in 2021 Outdoors. That's why he didn't do that great in Paula and Thunder Valley. I don't remember what he did in Thunder Valley, but that's why he didn't do that great those 2 rounds with the number 1 plate. It had nothing to do with pressure. I don't ever want to hear that oh, the number 1 plate or the red plate brings pressure. No. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that at all. It's just he was hurt, man, and now he retires, and I think he's going out great. if I'm him, clearly he's satisfied with what he's done so far, with what he's done in his career, that he even released a video on Instagram saying, I don't feel like I can compete at the level that I'm getting paid to. That was his exact words. So, good for him, man. He's going out as a champion. Like, tell me, in 2012, for anyone who's been watching since then, 2012, would you ever have expected that guy to be a champion? Never. Never. Even at 13, I'd be like, well, he's like he would be a top 5 guy. And I thought he was going to turn out like a Martin Doblo. He kind of did turn out like a Martin Doblo. No disrespect to Martin, though. Martin's a badass on a motorcycle. But he kind of turned into that, but a champion. Like, and that, like, his name is, he's in the sports, the record book. His name is in the record book for both series, Supercross and motocross. And he actually won a Supercross race. He won the final round in 2020 in Supercross. Like, I don't know, man. If anyone mad about Osborne or whatever, shut up, because you shouldn't be. He's retiring on his own terms. That's what everyone wants to do, retire on their own terms. Cole Seeley was able to retire on his own terms, and now Zach Osborne is. He had a great career. He entertained us for years, and he gave us many great races to watch. Honestly, like the Vegas 2017 race, that was one of the greatest. That's one of the, not just 250, greatest Supercross races of all time. So, great career for Zach Osborne. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you all enjoyed it. See you later. Congratulations, Zach Osborne. You're retiring a champion.